So, Randy, welcome to our call. We're really excited to have
Thank
you
you.
today. And thank you
Thank you
so
for
much for
having
waking
me.
up at 8 a.m. for us and joining
Actually, I
the
wake
call.
up a lot earlier. Yeah. So it's what time? So everyone is different time zones here, or you guys are all the same?
Yeah, different time zones, joining from
Okay.
different parts of the
Yeah.
world.
Wow.
So our goal today is to just ask a few questions to understand your experience. How did you like the coaching? What were your results? And any kind of insights you can share with guys. So could you please introduce
Perfect.
yourself and tell us about your niche? So what do you do? How you can how you help people? And it's more about your business. So
Okay.
commissions maybe that you can mention like any details you want.
Okay. Yeah. So my name is Randy Quigley. I am a realtor in Illinois, and a little bit about myself. So I've been around real estate for 20 years. Started with you guys. I think it's going on 2.5 months right now. So I'm near the end. I think I've got 20 days left. So I originally started with you guys thinking that I was going to just boost my social media. And I kind of did it the wrong way originally. So I had a lot of followers, but I've quickly figured out that like just doing paid ads on social media brought me the wrong kind of followers. So I was posting the wrong content and things like that. But so with you guys, my business completely changed. Which we can go over, I guess. You didn't even ask me that. I'm just kind of jumping ahead. But I hired you guys originally. Honestly, I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna start coaching real estate clients. I was looking for some kind of, again, I don't want to say I don't need the money because that's not like, obviously, like that's not what I mean. Everyone needs money, right? But it wasn't about the money per se. It was more about trying to get another business started. You know what I mean? So I hired you guys for social media growth and then also to start coaching. And coaching is turning into me starting my own office. And it's kind of crazy how everything happened. Yeah, so I think again I'm going completely off of what you asked me, but I just think you guys have helped me see um my business. And I'm going to be 41, so my business right now I've always thought, okay, I'm gonna manage everything myself. And at this point, I'm like, oh my gosh, the sky truly is the limit. I already knew that, but it's like you guys took me to a whole nother level, like completely different level.
Amazing.
Wow.
Love that. This is great intro. So yeah, you kind of touched a little bit on the next
Which
question.
is
So could you elaborate a little bit on the point A? So originally, you joined, maybe you had like this amount of followers, maybe you were making this amount of money from Instagram. So like any numbers that you're willing to share with us, that would be great.
Yeah. So, okay. So I was doing, my Instagram had actually more followers, but wrong followers because I didn't know what I was doing. I pretty much started it and I was just doing like the paid ads on, I would just click boost, post, boost, post. And I quickly realized that that was giving me like people in different countries that like were completely irrelevant from my page. So my numbers, my views on my account and this is me like trying my views on my account were like this. Now with me not even with me just posting the right content and getting rid of, probably got rid of 5,000 followers that were fake. And now they're growing organically, which they probably always should have. But you're quick in growth. I'm like, I just want to do it. I'm gonna pay for ads. I want to do this. Um, so I'm getting there. I'm getting more views, more qualified views that are actually they're actually getting me leads. And the content that I'm posting with you guys now is before I guess my page, I was just I didn't know what I was posting. I was just posting a post. I was posting real estate, then I was posting my lifestyle, then I was posting. And when you go to my page now, you look at it and you're like, okay, she's a realtor. She's a top selling realtor. These are her sales. This is what it is. Right. And before that, it was kind of like, I think she's a realtor. She's a realtor, but she's posting like personal funny reels, which is fine. But that wasn't getting me into the luxury market that I am now in and wanted to be in, if that makes sense.
Amazing. Love that. And then, so point B is right now you're getting more views from actually quality leads who are reaching
Mm-hmm.
out, who are booking the viewings for the houses. So could you please elaborate a little bit on
Yeah,
what happened?
it's
So
it's
point
crazy.
B.
The leads I'm actually getting in are listing leads. And it's funny because Now I see like my Instagram is more so my business card. So it's so powerful because I'll be like, oh, just check out my Instagram. It's got all my sales on it and how I market. And people will go there. And before, I mean, I have sold a lot. Like I've sold 180 million in real estate so far. So I've sell, but it was more so I still had to almost like say, this is what I do. This is who I am and talk myself up. And now it's kind of like, oh, here's my page, just go to it. And as soon as I send my link, they're like, okay, good, we're ready to go. And it's crazy now because honestly, a lot of times too, I don't know how it is with different areas, but if a house over here is like in a subdivision and it's been like 2 or 3 years ago, I can pull comps pretty easily. So I usually give them a range, and before I even go out there, they're like, "Hey, let's go pictures." So I would say, "Okay, I'm setting a listing appointment to meet you, go over our marketing, and let's say, for example, I'm meeting you on Wednesday. And then Tuesday night will come, I'll confirm and like, okay, you're doing pictures tomorrow, right? I'm like, oh, like, well, actually, you're jumping ahead. They're like, oh no, we're going with you. Like, we already know we're going with you. So it's like that extra level that I was like in between right now. It's just like, it's just like completely boosted my business. The other thing too, like I kind of touched base about it, is that when I first came to you, I was like, I want to be an influencer. I don't know what I wanted. I just wanted like, I love real estate, but I was like, there is more. I know there's more out there, right? So now I just get like, I have actually, there's a picture in the back there. I get people sending me like just products all the time and they're like, okay, do a reel for me, like do this and I'll send you this. I have people who are around here, they're like, I have an Airbnb, can you do a video for me? Which is crazy, and so I just threw out these crazy numbers like, okay, that video is going to be like $2,500 if you want me to tag it. If you want me to tag on my page, it'll be like 5,000. And people are like, okay, great, let's do it. So it's crazy to me because I'm just kind of like, I'm just gonna throw these numbers out here. And if you take it, great. And if you don't, whatever. And thinking that people won't take it. And people are like, all right, that's all. I'm like, oh, 5,000, that's all. Okay, great. So it's crazy to me. And the other thing too, I'm talking a lot, but I'm giving you guys information. I wanted to do coaching with you, right? So I did a coaching when I was with Veronica. I started my coaching and immediately I have agents directly on like my EXP team. So 4 of them were agents, but I got another 10 like immediately. So I was coaching 14. I'm still coaching 14 people. And I quickly realized that though I love coaching them, it is a ton of work for doing like the Zooms. And then also be like, oh my God, I'm training these people. But after this 3 months, like either they continue or they're kind of gone. And it kind of felt like there has to be more to that too. So now I thought, you know what? I'm just going to start my own. I'm going to start my own office, So now when I recruit people, when I train them, I'm actually training them onto my team, and I should have minimum about, I think it was 18. Now my team is probably about 20 agents within the next like 2 months already, directly within my office, which is crazy because I didn't even start promoting it yet because we didn't even open yet. So I don't know. I like credit that to you guys because I always thought, yeah, maybe I want to do that. But like being around your crowd and like people who are inspiring and thinking, okay, look, like you're here, but you can be here, and like telling you that and actually seeing the results, it's like, and here I am, I'm like, oh my God, this is nothing. Like I want to go more. I want to go higher. Like, and I know I can, so it's crazy to me.
Yeah, exactly. This is just the beginning. So welcome to
This is just the
the
beginning.
beginning.
Yeah, right.
I'm really
Absolutely.
excited to see your results. And then could you please summarize? So you mentioned first it's like brand deals, which you didn't expect at all, which is great. Second one is your own office and getting people first for coaching and then turning them into your own agents. And then what's the system there? So you're gonna get commission from them, or how is it gonna work? So how are you gonna
Yeah.
benefit from
So
this new system?
Yeah, so I'm currently with EXP, and I was getting my managing brokers. I was going to get my managing broker's license, or I actually have it right now. Well, I didn't pay for the fees because I was like, I don't know if I need it, but I took the test and everything and passed. And I spoke with my manager over at EXP, and I was like, look, this is my goal. Like I'm in between whether or not I want to start my own office or I want to start EXP and have a team, but have an office. and I lean towards having an office called Opulent, but it's brokered by EXP. So whenever I bring agents in, and everyone, this is what's even more crazy about this, because every agent that I bring in can technically, yes, I'm gonna have the office and we're gonna have, trainings and everything through my company. The trainings we already have, we are able to offer them to my agents. But everyone I'm teaching can actually grow their team the way I have too. So my goal is to bring all these agents on, and we get paid on them on their production, and then they get paid on anyone they bring on in their production too. So I'm like, well, why wouldn't I train them like I am in coaching, but train them everything I'm doing? They'll stay with me because I'm giving them value every single day. And then they're going to love it so much that they're going to train people that they recruit on. And that's kind of what's happening because I'm growing, but I'm also like, I have agents. I have 8 agents now that are currently with me, and they're like, okay, let's start recruiting for us. So like, it's like this train effect. So I know that like, oh my gosh, once I actually go live on this, and then my agents start to like feel this, like they're all gonna go live, and we get paid on the production. We get paid down pretty much 5 levels, but we get paid on their production, and so I feel like this is mind blowing. Like I don't want to just be here, and I'm like, okay, well, we have agents in this state. Maybe we'll open like an Opulent branch with EXP in different states, and because technically EXP is nationwide. So I'm not thinking small anymore. First, I was just thinking, okay, small. I'll do coaching here and there. I'll make an X. I'll make another like 100,000, maybe potentially coaching, right? And I quickly like realized that like 100,000 is, again, I don't want to sound it's good money, but it's small compared to the potential that we have, right?
That's amazing. And I'm really impressed by first your results and the change of mindset. So it's just been like a few months with us, and you completely
Yeah,
turned your projections around. Love that.
I think
And then could you
that
please
is the
share?
biggest thing is the mindset. It's crazy.
Amazing. And the last part, could you please share results in terms of numbers? So I know that you've sold for more than I think 1 mil in commission. So
Oh, sorry, my
in
kids.
actual sales.
Hold on one second,
What's your
Vicky.
commission?
Okay, so here's the thing too. Before I started, we're in a market, again, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the real estate right now, there's a lot of changes going on. And I feel like we're in a place where agents are going to either excel or they're going to decline. And in my current market here in Illinois, a lot of agents I feel are very like, oh my gosh, the business is not good. Like there's no business, there's no sales. Like we are, whether or not we stay or stay without, like we don't know what we're doing, right? And just literally this week alone, I secured $10 million of transactions in 1 week, which is insane to me. So at first I was thinking, okay, my goal, I want like 50 million or 60 million this year. And I'm like, okay, if I can do like 10 million in a week, 40 million in a month, like, why can't we do like 100+ million and grow my team to do the same? Like and those aren't even just my team numbers. Those are actually like my physical numbers, which is crazy to me, because around here, the average, I don't even think realtors do like 10 million in sales for the year is pretty good, right? So I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. So yeah, so just this week alone, I've secured 10 million in deals, and my values. So my values have actually tremendously gone up too. So before I was anywhere between the $200,000 range to like the 700 with the occasional like 1 million, things like that. But right now coming up, I have, which I didn't even count this in here. I've got 2 clients that are they're like in the $7 to $9 million sales, each of them, and they're both purchasing 2 million below. A listing I just got yesterday was 2.5 million. I got another 2.3 million and another 3.5 million. It's like, so then I'm like, okay, and it's crazy to me because as you talked about numbers too, like those numbers for listings are huge. But then the other aspect, I'm doing showing, okay, look, my account's reaching, some of them are 150,000 views. Some like my average on my actual account, it's average like at 38,000 or whatever, 37,000 is like without me just saying, okay, look, my views, like yours is the account reach, you know? So that alone is securing higher commissions for me. So I used to come in and say, okay, like this is what we pay and have to almost do that. I've been sending over 5 to one of my accounts I just got is actually a 7% listing, which I've never done in my entire career. I've never done a $7 million, and that listing that I did a 7% listing on is a over a $2 million listing. So I sent over a 7, they signed it and said, okay, great, let's go. Which is mind blowing to me. But I think that's because of the marketing we do, the reach we're doing, and just the different way I'm presenting my business.
Love that. These are insane numbers. So especially it's motivating for beginners, like to understand that it's possible on Instagram, because sometimes people have, I would say, mindset that, oh, I can only sell like low ticket or mid ticket, but actually you get deals for millions of dollars on Instagram. So that's amazing.
Well, what I've learned
Great.
too is that Instagram, I used to always feel like I needed to be someone else, like completely, not saying I'm not professional, I'm very professional, but like I felt like I needed to fit within a box, right? And I think Instagram has showed me that I can still be myself and actually be. So I train my agents too, be yourself, because people will show who you are through your page, because when they meet you, they know you and they're going to go with you because they know you and because they like you, versus being the average reader. Like, I don't know if you saw, like my car is, I have pink cars, but my car now is pink, but it's like a metallic, like opal pink, and it's bold. But it's funny because I'm like, I actually am, the more I grow into myself, and again, I'm going to be 41. So I'm like, I'm taking this long to like them through you guys to do it. But like, I'm like, I feel like this is who I am. I am a bold personality. I think felt so contained before, you know? So if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. And like obviously, sometimes we think that we need to fit the trends or like copy other people to be successful, but that's amazing example. Like you literally just hit all the points that we want you to talk about. That's insane.
Okay. Okay.
Cool. And
I
then
know I just kind of
just
ramble too.
in terms of numbers, so you mentioned 10 million in 1 week, and then what is your commission? So what's the average percentage you got from that? Was
Two and
like
a half percent on list side. So 5% total. So 2.5% on list side. So let's just say, and those are listings. Most of them are listings. So let's just say I don't have my calculator in front of me. So 2.5% of 10 million.
I will calculate it after
So
the call. Thank you.
250,000, I think. I again, I'm talking numbers and I feel so bad talking about them, because like I know there's a lot of agents, people struggling, but this is why it's like it's so big to talk about, because it's so there. I think I calculated with just the current deals that I have. Let's just say like everything closes and everything goes. I think I have like, and then we're only in the beginning of April, potentially just with, if I stop working now, which I'm not going to, over $750,000 in gross commission income without, and we're not even halfway into the year. So it's crazy. It's like mind blowing to me. But
Amazing. And thank you so much for being transparent with numbers. Really motivating, and it just expands the mindset for our clients as well. Lovely. So almost then from my side, I just wanted to ask about the three maybe main topics or three main tools or like three main things from our coaching that help you to achieve those results. So maybe open up a little more and like be yourself, or maybe reach those numbers, or maybe do something about marketing and followers, like any area and any tools that you want to highlight.
okay, so I mean, I know that like, I don't know if this is what you guys want me to say, but I think the number one for me is the inspiration and the type of people that Mike has brought on to this coaching system. I think that I always say this, surrounding yourself around the right people, and the people who are rooting you on, giving you the tools to succeed, but like being like, okay, like we're here, and everyone here is like skyrocketing their own business too. So I think a lot of it is honestly like having that person who, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like some of the stuff that I've been given to do as homework, I've been like, oh my gosh, I haven't done it because I've done something else. You know, it's so, but just having that accountability and like that plan, which I didn't think I needed, right? I was almost like happy with making like the 350 to 500 a year. I was like, okay, it's fine, you know, because it is good money, but now I'm like, it is good money, but what else can many other people can I help with this now? And what else can I do with this now? So I think the biggest thing for me, the number one, was the people and the type of people and the caliber of the people that you guys have on your team. The second one is actually organizing my page. To I was so worried about just posting that I didn't know what I was posting. I was just posting to post, right? To try to get, like, I was posting a lot of funny videos and TikTok videos that were converted. And I know that works for a lot of agents, but for me, it just wasn't, it was too stressful. Like, I was like, okay, if I'm going to be busy running this business and trying to make now over $1 million a year gross, like for me personally, I don't have time to physically post on Facebook and do all of that. So some of the stuff that I'm doing, is it's like I've learned to schedule them. I learned to post the right content, like even just my listings. It sounds so simple, but things I just never thought about, but posting like just the listing dollar amounts, or like posting it sort of the feed. When you go to my grid, it's like, she's a realtor. Like, that's all you see is the right kind of content. So I think just like doing that alone and knowing like how to, because you guys know how to reach the right people and what needs to be posted in order to gain like the business you want. So I think that, and then again, I went into it thinking I wanted to do supplemental income of just coaching, and I think that's great. Again, I think that anyone who wants to do that's great. But I think I've come into my personality and being like, that's great. But I want more, you know? So you guys just, I don't know if that's three things or if that's part of like one and two, but like, I think it's just like you kind of like show the dream, and it's whether or not your students want to actually physically follow that dream, right? So you guys gave me like the path and the vision, and I was started off small, and I was like, okay, what else? What else? What else? And I can't lie, I'm tired, like I'm doing a lot. But now I'm at that next level I was talking, where I'm like, I think I need to hire you guys through editing and things like that, because in order to grow, like, you do need to spend money to grow, and you do need to continue to grow, or else I can see someone in this business and my business can easily get burnt out doing what I'm doing if they don't grow. And I think before I was so afraid of not trusting the wrong people and my business like going, but I feel like my brand is so people know me now, and they did before, but people are like, oh my God, I see your page. I see your page. I see everything everywhere. I see your pink car. And I think that, I don't know. I honestly really feel like it helped me more than I could have imagined in a different way than I really originally even wanted, you know?
Yeah, completely. Love that. And then exactly the point. So sometimes when you kind of continue doing the same stuff over and over again, like you already know how to edit, you already know how to find ideas that work. And then this stops you from actually thinking bigger and growing and like thinking about a strategy. So that's why maybe hiring at a certain point is actually what's going to bring you more money, like triple or quadruple your income in the
And
next
save
just
me
few months.
time too. Exactly. I'd rather focus on sales and getting more clients, or building more agents up, than taking an hour to edit a reel, you know? So
And then investing it in your family as well. So you have, I assume you
yeah,
have kids
absolutely.
that
I have four.
walked in.
Yeah. I have four kids. Yeah.
Kids and these results. This is insane. Love that. And then just
Yeah.
one last question from my side. So we do have beginners, we do have people who maybe are scared to start or they have like a few doubts. So what would be your advice, or I would say like the main message to people who are just starting with our coaching?
I would say the biggest thing is, if any, so are these people who are thinking of coaching or who have started coaching?
If it's different for two groups, you can just give two kind of responses. What
I
would
would
you want?
originally say that people who are afraid of spending money, right? I always say, like, you need to invest in your business in order to even succeed, like, at all. So if they're afraid of even in taking that little step and investing, I feel like maybe deep down they're afraid of growth, or they really don't want it, right? But if you want growth, you have to invest in, no matter what it is. And then when you actually do invest, you just have to keep on reminding yourself, okay, I invested. And it's not just pennies that we charge, like you charge. It's a good amount. So if they're going to take the time and money and invest it, to make sure that they utilize it to the best of its ability, you know? So I think that they have to make it a choice to show up every single day, you know, to work. The tools are there, and it's going to come down to how much work they put into it. Like, you guys will guide them and you'll be there and hold them accountable. But I think at that point too, when someone invests, like, I think they need to know that, like, ultimately you can give them all the tools and tricks, but like, it's up to them to actually follow the system and the plan and the advice that you guys give.
Amazing. That's the best kind of ending of my part. We do have all the team here, so if you guys have questions, do you have like a time limit? Do you have like more, maybe 5-10 more
No, it's okay.
minutes?
It's 8:30.
Or
Yeah, for sure. Mhm.
Hey Randy, it's Jake.
Hello.
Forgive me, I've got my camera off. I'm not feeling the best. I've ruptured a
Oh,
disc
I'm sorry.
in my neck. I just wanted to say, so good to see you. I look at your content all the time. It inspires me. I definitely now lately I've been thinking, man, I need to buy some horse property in Texas.
You
So
should actually.
yeah, I mean the content, the stuff you're doing is amazing. I wanted to ask you because we have been getting so many realtors lately that
Mhm,
have been coming. Do you know, and then this is a more technical question for your side of the business, with the new laws and changes
mhm.
for real estate and commission, how is that affecting you and how is that affecting other people in your industry?
So I think that first of all, the NAR, they kind of they said, okay, this is what we're doing, and this is what we potentially will be doing, meaning that they kind of jumped the gun, in my opinion, by announcing everything so quickly because it's not even court approved yet. So changes will be going back, but the exact changes are still to be determined. And I've again this week alone, I'm signing 9+ listings, and none of them, not even one of them, asked me about this. So I think that the only thing I think that we need to teach realtors, and that's where I'm teaching. I've got actually training on this next week with a recruiting event, and then also with my own agents, being like, we need to set the example for other realtors and for sellers, because what it always is, like, we have to pay, like, I always say, okay, like, we're going to charge you X amount, like, this is what we offer, these the tiers. I kind of do tiers, and I say, okay, my listing broker fee is this, whatever you choose to pay out to the buyer. The average going rate is 2.5 to 3%. Some pay out 2. It's up to you, whatever you choose. However you choose less, like, you may get less agents who are willing to show it, which is not how it's supposed to be, but you know what I mean? Or the buyers are going to have to pay their broker to show your property. And a lot of the buyers don't have the extra percent. They'd rather roll it into their mortgage type deal. So I honestly don't see the market changing that much. The only thing is that agents have to communicate better. So we're still, the buyers, the listing agents, the sellers, I mean, are still able to pay out and pay a buyer's broker. The only difference is that as a buyer's broker, I'm primarily listings. As a buyer's broker, we should have always been doing this, signing buyer's agreements before we even show the client. So now it's going to be a state law, or a nationwide, I think, nation or NAR law, that we need to have buyer's agreement signed. So the buyer's agreement will say something along the lines of, I will represent you exclusively for X amount of time. It could be per property, it could be for a year, it could be whatever terms you think of. And the buyer will agree to pay X amount of commission, you know. So the only difference is that the listing agent isn't able to legally disclose on the MLS what the seller is willing to pay. Now, every single seller that I've talked to so far is willing to pay a buyer's broker the same as they were now. They don't have to, and legally right now they still don't have to. They've never had to. But I think that's where the lawsuit came, is that a lot of people were misinformed on how it works. But like, legally, they never had to pay out a buyer's broker, right? So I don't think things are actually going to hurt um, our market. I think it's going to change, meaning that some agents who do not know, who first of all don't sign buyer's brokers and who aren't legally putting like that commission into their offers for their clients, I think they're going to lose out on commission, just because now everything needs to be disclosed, like, as part of a contract type deal. But I feel like if they're trained correctly and around the right people, that sorry, appointments come in. But I feel like if they're trained correctly and they know to call the listing broker and say, hey, is your seller paying out a commission or not? And then also, like I said, learning how to really negotiate, it really shouldn't change your business at all. I think people
Right.
are scared because it's different, and I think it's more work.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's really going to change
Okay.
that
But
much
thank
besides of
you.
how we run it. Yeah, you're welcome.
Because I've had a couple of agents that have expressed fear in investing in the coaching because they're like, well, I don't even know what's going to happen with our industry. And so that's why I was asking.
Yeah, so I think that's why I'm able to recruit agents a lot faster without even technically, we're not supposed to be even opening our business till like August, like our office here. And I think I'm recruiting agents because I'm seeing, okay, people are doing exactly what you're saying. They're saying, oh my God, I'm so scared. I don't know if I'm going to be a realtor anymore. And I'm like, why? So I think people are so scared of what may or may not happen that hasn't even completely happened yet. Like as of right now, we can still see what the buyer broker gets paid. People are so misinformed on how their business then has to be run that they're automatically thinking, it may be the end, but it's not going to be the end. You know, technically a seller can say, I don't want to pay out a buyer's broker. And then there's a buyer's broker that comes in and says, my client has a 2.5% listing, not listing agreement that they have to pay me, but they can't out of pocket can't pay me. So we're going to include that as part of our offer as a buyer's credit because the buyer then with that credit will pay me. Does that make sense? So it's
Yeah.
just different. And right now, our prices of homes they've included the 5-6% listings already. Like, so if a seller technically doesn't want to pay out the 5% or whatever they do, or 2.5% to the buyer's broker, they don't have to. However, their values of their home probably will decrease because right now, does that make sense? The 5 and 6% is already built into their listing price.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think I think a lot of people are misinformed or getting worried about something when in theory, all they need to do is relearn how to negotiate in deals. So I think I'm not worried about it at all. I'm actually excited because I feel like there's a lot of agents like that who are probably going to drop out of the business. So I feel like the people who understand it and who are with the right crowd are going to excel while other ones, choose
More business
to
for
back out.
Randy.
Yeah, I like more business for our group. So I'm excited because everyone's like, I don't know what's gonna do. So then I talk to them and then I'm like, well, why don't you just join our group? Like we'll teach you. And it's been I think it's gonna be really good for recruiting purposes too for us. But I think for anyone you're talking about, I would say, from talking to another realtor, I don't think things are necessarily going to change. Like buyers brokers, you're still going to get paid. You just need to make sure that you're legally signing buyer's contracts, that you're learning how to negotiate better and whatnot,
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
I got just one last question because we do have to wrap it up in about 5 minutes. But
Okay. Yeah.
So we have quite a few realtors who are attracted to what we do. There seems to be just this trend of realtors. They're really fearful around investments. They have some sort of budget in mind of what they think they can do for marketing. It's like a very interesting thing. So Randy, from your perspective, what would you say to some realtor who wants to do the coaching? They're they're there, but they got a lot of fear. They got in mind of some budget, whatever, and this is like more than they were expecting. What would you say to someone in that position?
I mean, with any business, you have to it comes to a point where you're like, okay, here's fear, but here's my goals. Or are my goals and fear like even, right? So if someone is like, I want to do it, but I really can vision, like I would say to them, are you okay being where you are? Are you okay? Like are you happy with where you are? Or did you contact us because you really want to be here? We can get you here, but you need to invest not only the money, the investment, but I want to make sure you're a good fit for us too, because not only the money, but I want to make sure that if you do invest, that you're going to put in the work. Because now if you're scared, I would tell them, like, if they're scared of financially committing, are they going to actually commit full in? So I would just tell them you have to make the choice and they have to almost jump full in, right? This is completely irrelevant, but a lot of agents don't know how to actually set up their business properly either. Like I pay myself a salary from my corporation. So that's something maybe you can eventually down the line or figure out how to incorporate this into your business. But like I always have money in my business account for marketing, for listings. But I've come to learn very quickly that most agents don't. They kind of live like commission to commission, and that maybe what you're dealing with is someone just doing like commission to commission, where they may not have the funds because of the way they run their business. So, but you guys do offer the monthly too. I would say worst case scenario, then do the monthly plans, because if you're doing a monthly plan, which is a little bit higher, but you're willing to commit to put in the work, you're going to make that back. If that helps at all.
Well said. Thanks. This was
Can
super
I
helpful, Randy.
jump in with one really quick question? First of all, I think it'd be awesome if Randy could just be our spokesperson, like just go around and just tell everybody how awesome we are. Thanks a lot for being here, Randy. So you mentioned that there's changes happening, right? And there's uncertainty in your industry. And there's going to be a divide between the people who succeed and the people who unfortunately don't. So my question is, how do you see what we're doing here in Instagram and what you've been part of? How do you see that impacting and helping people either thrive and make it, or the other way?
I honestly feel like anyone who does not incorporate what you're teaching and what I'm doing and what like that social media aspect into their business, I don't see them going to be continuing to skyrocket up. I feel like we are in the era where social media, building on organic brands on social media, is going to be almost the number one thing we have. Like, it is crazy how much people are like, well, show me how you market. And instead of like pulling out a computer that, I mean, print ads are okay for certain fields. Like my husband's a farmer and he's a realtor, and print ads for farms are different because they take a little time to sell. It's a different market. But like what you guys are doing, I feel like every agent has to do. There's a lot of agents who are a little bit older and they're stuck in their ways and they're like, I'm not doing social media. I'm not doing it. I'm not growing. And I feel like those are the agents who are going to hit a plateau because they won't be. This is the new generation of realtors. This is the I'm not the only way, but it is the best way. So technically, yes, your system isn't free, but nothing is. But in relevance to, this is another thing you say. I've done also print ads that have cost me in past years like $10,000 for a print ad, and I don't get any calls from them, like a mailer. So this essentially is so much more powerful because it's a system that they learn, and it's what you almost have to be doing in order to stay in the business.
Yeah, we've had people that are literally like kind of traditionalists, and they're like, oh, I have a mailing list, or I have this, or I kind of like knock on doors and stuff like that. So it sounds like you're saying that's pretty much one of the quickest ways.
Well, here's the
not to
thing I
work.
say. Well, here's the thing too, for mailing. Most of the people, there is that older generation, they're still going to hit with the mail. But I feel like since COVID, this is where social media for realtors totally kicked off, because during COVID, a lot of people they didn't really, all the mail, like everything now, people pay their bills online. So usually when the mail comes, most of the time it is just like copies of bills they've already paid online, or it's just spam, whatever. So they're looking through their mail, but mail isn't as exciting as it was, because now you're looking like, my bills are already paid for, so I'm just going to the mail to get the mail. But usually it's just spam. So when they see like from my perspective, when they see like a mailer in the mail, they're like, okay, I'm probably going to throw this away. Where if they see a video, or if they see you talking, now, first of all, you're creating this brand. People are feeling more comfortable because they feel like they already know you on social media, right? They feel like, okay, I'm gonna call her, but I know her. Like, there's been times that I like walk out and be like, hi, Randy. I'm like, hi. And the husband or whatever will be like, oh, hi, do you know her? And she's like, no, I follow her. I don't know. Do we know? And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't know you, but I follow you. That's kind of what I feel like every realtor specifically needs now. And that's what you provide, is like the ability, especially for people who, that's actually more powerful. People at the older generation, the people who are stuck in their ways, probably really need your coaching, because there's again, I know, like, I don't know, like there's the younger generation who this is what they've grown up with, right? They grew up with technology. They're like, hey, we'll just easily like go and we know how to do this. But like the people who are stuck in their mindset, they almost need that mindset shift. I mean, I didn't even think I needed a mindset shift, and you guys provided that. Do you know what I mean? So I think that they
100%.
actually probably really need that if they want their business to succeed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love
Awesome.
that.
So my emails are coming through.
I think this is pretty much it from our side. This was amazing, 40 minutes, and I'm really thankful. I'm really grateful for you today, for all this time that you've given us. I'm really happy for the results, and I wish you all the best with our coaching. So let's make 10 million in one day. Next goal is this, I guess, or
Okay, done.
in
Yeah.
Congratulations on the massive success. I remember when it was 7 and 8% listings back 20, 30 years ago. So
There's so many agents around here now who are like, we'll do a
Yeah.
2,500 flat rate. And they're like, will you do that? I'm like, nope, I'm not. Like, I can't. I'm like, it's just not worth it to me, you know, but that's it. It would be nice to have the 7-8%. People are fighting like the 5 and 6s now.
Yep.
Awesome.
amazing.
All right. Thanks,
So
Randy.
thank you so much for your time. We will save this recording. We'll post it on the platform so you'll have all the eyes on you. People will get to your account, join your community, and we will get amazing testimonial and amazing client. So hopefully we will see you again on another interview in a few months with 100 mil
Yeah.
in your
That'd
revenue.
be great. We will.
Great day.
Right?
Have a great day, and once again, thank you for your time.
Thanks,
you, guys.
Randy.
All right. Have a good day,
Thank
guys.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a good day.